should have stayed home. Jericho? You don't get to say his name. Don't feel bad. It was never gonna work. You depend on others for your strength. I depend on no one. You should have stayed away. Now, you're gonna die with your friends.
Dad!
I see you've changed your mind.
Titans are my family. Don't make me kill you.
What's next for us all? I don't know. That's the million-dollar question.
Good job today in the store, guys. Seatbelt.
Lady, your card.
Welcome back, everyone. It's Charlie. This is going to be my Titans finale video. We finally have a version of Nightwing on the show. They had their big face-off with Deathstroke. There was a big post-credit scene teasing what's happening in Season 3. We got a whole bunch of Batman, so I'll break everything down. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to get all the Easter egg videos. There's a bunch of DC trailers coming next week, too, that I'll explain at the end of the video. Most of you probably saw the post-credit scene title and knew that there would be spoilers in this video, but I'll say it one more time. Careful for spoilers for the end of Titans Season 2. But quick catch up to where we got to this point. Nightwing gets his brand new Nightwing costume from the same people that make all of Batman's suits and the other Robin costumes. They made the last version of the Robin costume that he wore a long time ago that they burned in Season 1. They spent all of the last episode explaining how it's supposed to be more agile, make it easier for him to dodge attacks, which you see him do during this fight with Deathstroke, incorporate more of his acrobatic circus training into his fighting style, move and fight more like comic book Nightwing does, which he does during this fight. Ravager is also wearing her comic book Ravager suit. She hasn't worn it in the present until now, but we've seen her wear it in flashbacks before. As we all expected, they were doing a version of Judas Contract with Ravager instead of Terra, so they've changed her backstory a little bit. This version of the character is the illegitimate daughter of Deathstroke. She goes to train with him and learns that because he was modified genetically by Hive to give him his special regeneration powers, he passed that on to her genetically, so she can heal any kind of damage pretty quickly. That's why when she kills him at the end of the season, you kind of wonder, well, wait a minute, she just stabbed him with her blades. Is he going to heal that and come back later? They're kind of ambiguous about that, but because this is the comic book universe, just don't be surprised if Deathstroke resurfaces in a future season. They've already been renewed for season 3, but going beyond that will depend on a lot of things, mostly Netflix renewing their deal to syndicate the show. Most of the money from the show comes from Netflix and from Warner Brothers' pockets. They don't make a lot of money on it, but the Netflix deal does cover a lot of their expenses. It'll probably wind up going to HBO Max in addition to the DC streaming service, so don't be surprised if you see it show up on that Warner Brothers streaming service next year. They made a couple big changes to the Teen Titans Judas contract story, but that was the overarching story of Season 2, Deathstroke trying to get revenge for the death or perceived death of one of his sons. Now, they changed which son it was from the comics. Originally in the comics, it was him trying to get revenge for the death of Ravager Grant Wilson. Grant Wilson had taken a contract from Hive to get rid of the Teen Titans, but he died during that attempt, so Deathstroke then takes that contract and uses Terra to get revenge while he's also executing the contract. That's why they call it the Judas contract, because it's a contract to kill the Titans. They reveal at the end of the season, though, that Jericho's spirit has been trapped inside Deathstroke's mind this whole time because of the way his powers work. Then after she kills Deathstroke, his spirit comes into Ravager, so it's just kind of ambiguous about what might happen with him in the future, but technically he's still alive. Because of the way Raven's powers work, because we know there are other planes of existence, they play it really fast and loose with people dying, which gets to the other big moment of the episode, because there was a big death during Teen Titans The Judas Contract, which they also changed for the TV show. During this season, Cadmus Labs and Mercy Graves, on the orders of Lex Luthor, use Superboy and Beast Boy to try and destroy the Titans in a completely separate plot by brainwashing them. Spoiler alert one more time, because we'll be talking about who dies in the Titans finale. So here we go. It winds up being Donna Troy, who's been killed off a bunch of times in the Teen Titans comics, but instead of having Beast Boy be the one to do it like they were implying he would, she winds up dying because of an accident when she was trying to save a bunch of people from being crushed and electrocuted. I have a feeling that people would have been way more upset if Beast Boy would have been the one to kill her while he was brainwashed and then had to live with that guilt all through season 3. But because Donna Troy has come back seemingly from death many times in the comics, I wouldn't be surprised if she somehow comes back from death in a future season on Titans. But then you're left with the new Titans roster heading into season 3, so obviously Ravager is now the swap for Donna Troy, but for the most part, everybody is still there. The big Batman moment at the end of the scene too is because they've been using the Batman character this season in a lot of really weird ways. He's done a lot of silly things, there's been a lot of hallucination versions of Batman inside Nightwing's head. They played really fast and loose with what's real and what's just happening in people's heads, so they imply there's this big moment in an earlier episode where they're all brought together in a diner and Bruce Wayne, Batman, is wearing this white suit talking to them about going to rescue Nightwing. You need to come back together and go save him. While they're at dinner, Starfire thanks him, "Thank you so much for bringing us together, it really helped us out," and he says, "I have no idea what you're talking about, I've never been to that diner." Then they reveal that because Raven's powers are so off the charts now, that she created a mind space Batman that's fake to bring them all together in these scenes here so that they could rally the team and save Nightwing and defeat Deathstroke. So for those of you asking, when was Batman real and when was he the fake hallucination version of Batman? Some of the hallucinations were clearly hallucinations, like when Nightwing was in prison fighting Batman, that was all happening in his head. The diner was fake Batman. Batman does not wear white. That should be the dead giveaway that he's walking around in a white suit. While they're sitting at the dinner table here, he's wearing black. That should be the cue that he's real. But the big Season 2 post-credit scene is meant to be a teaser for the big villain of Season 3, and if you didn't recognize this woman after her body changed form, that's meant to be Blackfire, Starfire's sister, who has just killed their parents and stolen the throne on their homeworld from Starfire. Starfire also kind of lost her powers this season, and I think it's going to be more of a mental block that she'll have to fight through more than an actual physical problem. For those of you asking about the Wally West version of The Flash, there are rumors that he's going to show up at some point next season. They will eventually add a speedster to the team because the entire Justice League exists within the Titans universe. They've already canonized all the characters. The Wonder Woman 1984 trailer is going to be coming next week. Of course, I'll do a video for it. There'll be more trailers for Crisis, and I believe there's going to be another big trailer for Birds of Prey. So as long as you have alerts enabled for my channel, you should see those videos when I post them. But everyone, click here for the brand new Crisis on Infinite Earths trailer, and click here for my brand new Mandalorian Episode 4 video. Thank you so much for watching. Everybody stay awesome. I'll see you guys tonight.